Over in the ACC.
Yes.
The ACC is both easier and harder to grade out. Miami is one. Miami is the clear number one.
It's just Virginia erasure, but okay.
After you get past Miami, that's when it gets weird.
Yeah.
Okay. That's when I think you've got a number of teams you could put in any order. And it goes pretty deep. I've got Georgia Tech 2. I've still got Florida State 3.
I'm already differing.
I've got Louisville 4. And I've got Duke 5.
Okay. I have Miami, Louisville. Winning is boring, but it's better than losing. And Louisville has won. Florida State looks sloppy at Virginia. The errors leading to Virginia touchdowns. Obviously, the game ended on an error for Florida State. After that kind of performance with what Virginia's offense did against Florida State, I'm just not there with Florida State at number 2. I have them at number 3.
Okay.
I actually have Virginia behind them because of Virginia's loss, obviously, to NC State, if I recall correctly.
You tell me you have Virginia in the top 5.
Yes.
Whoa.
Well, here's the thing. If you beat number 2 or number 3 or number 1, you got to be pretty good. I have Virginia ahead of Georgia Tech.
Who's number 2? You have Virginia at number 2?
No, Louisville is at number 2.
Louisville's number 2.
Yes.
Virginia at 3?
No, Florida State at 3. Virginia at 4.
3.
Obviously, Florida State just lost to Virginia, and I'm being sort of a hypocrite here
with
how I described Illinois, USC.
Yep.
I understand. If you disagree with any of this, my answer to you is, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. You're probably right. But, I sat and thought about it, and my brain has limited capacity and limited growth potential. So here we are. What do you have? So then I have Georgia Tech at 5.
Okay.
Right
so
there.
we kind of have the same teams there. No, I've got Duke at 5, ahead of Clemson at 6, and then Clemson ahead of Virginia.
I have, Duke, Clemson, and then Cal.
Okay. We'll get to Cal in a second.
Yeah.
My thinking here with putting Duke above Clemson, I still like Clemson's talent. I think Clemson is a preseason 1, but they're 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, they're screaming who they are. You got to believe them.
Correct.
It doesn't seem
that's likely high for Clemson at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard not to like the talent. It's hard not to like the veteran presence. It's hard not to like just the pedigree of the program. But 1-3 is screaming 1-3. And we've watched this team all year. They can't get their act together on offense. At times, they've gotten pushed around on defense.
Buddy, even that 1 in the 1-3 wasn't all that impressive.
I know, absolutely. They were losing at one point in that game.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously going to be down on Clemson compared to where I was in the preseason. But Duke, if nothing more, Duke feels much more organized. We know that Duke is finding ways to put up points.
Right.
I think generally we still like their philosophy on defense, even if we haven't always seen it this season. So for me, Duke just has their act together a lot more. I'm not going to bottom out on Clemson, but I'm not going to put Clemson in my top, 6? Duke is going to be 5, Clemson at 6.
There's very little argument to put Clemson in your top 9 or 10.
I understand that. And this is based solely on the August Clemson that I tried to paint that picture when we did our previews.
If you had no prior knowledge of any of these teams and you just landed here from Neptune and you're like, all right, I'm looking at what I'm looking at. Let's see who's who and what's what. Clemson, where would Clemson be?
I know.
Clemson doesn't have a power conference win.
This is based almost exclusively on my preseason prediction, which went up in smoke almost immediately.
Clemson's 13th or 14th, if you're looking at it like that.
I've got Virginia right after Clemson, ahead of SMU, ahead of Pitt, ahead of NC State, ahead of Wake Forest.
Okay. We're starting to get a little different here. So after my Clemson, I have Cal, NC State, Virginia Tech.
You're really high on Tech.
I'm not really high on Tech.
That's really high on Tech.
This is a very stupid conference.
Well, it is. And this is why I say after that initial wave of 5 or 6 teams, it starts to get really weird.
I agree.
And I think we find ourselves in this situation often with the ACC. We joke about it here about like we can never remember who plays whom.
Right.
But truly, you get past that top 6 and there are a bunch of teams that kind of feel the same. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I do think that is in part why the ACC is so damn interesting. It was like this a little bit last year. It's even more the case this year. There's a lot of Big 12 in the ACC where it feels like anybody can beat anybody almost at any time. Doesn't matter where
totally.
the game's being played.
Well, yeah. I mean, you talk about what was it, the ACC Coastal? That was always just a mix and match of 6-6, 7-7, 5-7 teams. That's what we sort of have after Miami, Louisville, Florida State, Georgia Tech, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Outside of that top grouping of 5 or 6 teams, it kind of feels like that way throughout. So let me read the rest of this off to you.
Okay, so where I am with mine is Cal, NC State, Virginia Tech. Okay. Even though Virginia Tech did just beat NC State. I hear you.
I have Cal, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Boston College, North Carolina, Stanford.
Yeah.
To round out mine. By the way, full disclosure, I forgot Stanford on the initial document I put together. That's what I think of Stanford. Okay.
Okay.
Cal, to me, though, was the team. Cal and Wake Forest were the 2 teams that I had no idea what to do with.
Okay. I can help.
I think Wake Forest is going to be damn plucky.
Okay.
Wake Forest could have beaten Georgia Tech. Probably should have beaten Georgia Tech. But
so
Wake
they're
Forest,
another entry in your close playoff.
Another entry in the close playoff. They could be an 8th seed. But Wake Forest is a team I think that's going to give many others in this conference white knuckles throughout the course of the year trying to beat them. They will be in every game, which if you're a Wake fan, that's a plus. You will take that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to make of Cal. I love JKS. I think Cal is definitely better than they were a year ago.
Yeah.
Cal also, didn't they get shut out by San Diego State a week ago?
Look, you don't just go into Snapdragon and expect to win, Ty.
34 to nothing.
Right?
You don't go in there maybe expecting to win, but you do go in there expecting to score some points.
Do you know how difficult it is to give up 34 points to San Diego State? This is a special Cal program.
Did San Diego State just lose 6-3 or win 6-3 over Northern Illinois?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It takes a special kind of program, right? That there's something in the air with Cal that you just have to reward. That anything can happen with the Cal Golden Bears. So I can't put them too low because I'm just scared of them right now.
I can't put them too low, but I can't put them too high.
That's fine. So Cal beat a mid-tier, as we see it right now, Minnesota team comfortably. Cal just traveled across the country and beat probably a lower to mid-tier ACC team in Boston College. I think that's hard to do. Just from a travel aspect, if you're Cal. So I'm impressed enough to put them at whatever I did, like 8, 7.
You're telling me on a neutral field you would take Virginia Tech over Cal?
No, I have Cal ahead of Virginia Tech.
Okay.
I have Cal, NC State, then Virginia Tech after Clemson. And then I have Wake and SMU.
You're pretty low on SMU.
Tell me what SMU has done this year specifically where you're just like,
nothing.
All right, you got to keep them in that top half.
Nothing.
They just haven't.
No.
They don't have a power conference win, right?
No.
So they're trying to tell us that they have some work to do. Next.
Of teams on this list that I do not understand NC State.
Okay.
This means it's like year 7 of me not understanding NC State. I have no idea what NC State is. I don't know which direction they're headed. I expected more just when I thought it was safe to expect more. They're basically telling me to expect less. So they got to be somewhere, I think, bottom half of the conference, but not fully at the bottom.
Correct.
It's still a pretty good team with a fair amount of talent. And Pitt, for what it's worth, Pitt's kind of in the same category as well.
Can't lose to Virginia Tech, right? If you want NC State as like a mid-tier or upper half team in the ACC. But they also did beat the team that beat Florida State.
That's right.
In Virginia.
Welcome to the ACC. That's what this is.
But they gave a 45 to Duke, whereas, Duke has struggled on offense at times this year. And Duke is getting points. Duke has already won a couple ACC games, and they handled a Syracuse team, which we'll get to in a second, like they should have if Duke is pretty good. With Ricky Collins and not Steve Angeli.
Yeah, and again, my bottom 5 are Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Boston College, North Carolina, Stanford.
Is there something Boston College has accomplished this year that has you higher on them than these other teams?
Well, they're third from the bottom. I think they're better than North Carolina, and I think they're definitely better than Stanford.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What have they accomplished? Not much, but they're still better than those teams.
I have Cuse fifth from the bottom after SMU, just because of the quarterback situation. Then Boston College, then Pitt, then North Carolina, then Stanford. So I have your ACC Conference Championship Pitt Panthers as the third worst team in the conference.
Oh, boy.
Again, Pitt has lost to arguably the worst Big 12 team. We'll get there. And lost a winnable moment to a top tier team with a good defense. Well, maybe a good defense. And so Pitt is underwhelming right now, to say the least.